Right, there we are. Hello, Zia. Thank you kindly. I'm doing okay, thank you. My camera apparently is not. Let me know if you guys are seeing my camera. Scarlett, thank you kindly. Let me know if you can hear me. Someone say yes, we can hear you. What on earth is going on? I'm assuming you can't see me, however. Better, I hope. Look, it's me! I am not broken. I was just trapped in a camera frame. Thank you, OBS. For being unmanageable. Oh, Scarlett, that's such a nice thing to say. Hey, Aunt. Yeah, I don't know. I do my best, but I think also only, which gives me an edge. Well, no, Bubbles occasionally streams. He's a better player than I am. Hey, Dan. Right. Bubbles is not washed. In and out. I'm not doing anything serious, but we have like my favourite baby is slightly modified but still rolling, which is my yeah, don't. I was 60 something thousandth. So I'm climbing, honest gov. I've been doing a lot of testing, and then and then I've been doing a lot of experimentation. But this is one of my favourite things that I've got at the minute. It is my completely mono Brit deck, which I'm going to store because we're going to run a few on. Yep, it is completely mono Brit, and it is the deck that got me. Well, it's the deck that got me part of the way that got me here. I shall show the other deck that got me part of the way here in testing in a moment, but I'm just going to update the deck lists with this one. And then if I do this, you can see the mono Brit deck, which has done alright. But the more powerful forms of my climb have been this for funsies, which is a very, very annoying Soviet control resistance deck that is probably honestly miserable to play against, so I don't play a lot of time on it, but I went cooking. And kind of uses some of the free keyword soup. Thank you, Core. I'm gonna actually have to call it soup now. If you're out there, thank you so much, my friend. But yeah, that one's not going anywhere. But it does use some of the keyword soup stuff and then some resistance stuff, which has been pretty good. And this, which, I mean, the title says it all. I'm not proud of this deck. But I got caught in a maths exercise with regards to the new resistance mechanics. I'm still not sure it's good enough to worry me, but I am very much of the hope that resistance is not good and stays absolutely nowhere near tier 1 for all of the aforementioned methods. But this is one of the stronger resistance builds I've come up with. Yeah, sure. I'm always up for a friendly. The other thing I've been playing around with is this, which is a jet deck. Yes, really. Don't judge me. And is a bit bonkers. No, family's always important. Although, on that subject, let's give the early birds a chance to enter yourselves in. I do not have any Homefront packs, unfortunately. I only have standard packs available at the moment. So you'll have to go with the usual random chances. But they are there, and I've still got them to use. But yeah, there's a jet deck, because why not, really? And then there's my version of the classic frontline deck, and so on. Not been doing massively complicated things. Let's run this out. But it's been... Juan, how you doing? Good to see you. And always good to have you along. Right, let's see. Zio went Brit, surprising no one. Sure. We can work with... There we go. We can work with this. Probably. No, Zia's in a Churchillian mood. I'm concerned. Middlesex, you say? Sure. Ramp and Zia, that never happens. Thank you, Ash. Have a good time with your family and give everyone the love of some random Brit who they've never met and probably never even heard of. Interesting choice of answer. There are a number of ways we could do this. Just go here. I'm not gonna put too much effort in. Not quite sure what we're dealing with yet. It's the most annoying meta deck. At this point, I can't really say that there's enough of a meta for me to comment on. There are a few things that are definitely quite strong, but I mean, 106 has been fixed, which is good. Extremely good, in fact. There's some card draw for us. Quite an important tool in this if you're going to do the keyword thing. 106 was definitely an issue on launch, but the change is there. The only things I'm seeing lots of that are actually consistent at the moment is probably Legions is probably the most consistently strong thing I'm seeing. I am on record as saying that 106's effect is one that I'm not a fan of. Obviously, I can't comment beyond that. Yada yada yada, NDAs, disclaimers, discussions behind closed doors, all of that governs. But yes, I am on record as being of the opinion that that effect is frankly problematic. I think at 2 cost, it won't find its way into literally every single deck in the same way, but I still expect to see it around a lot, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see a future change to it. That's diplomatic enough, right? So we'll take a guard. Keep the shock. But yeah, I think probably the most consistent deck right now is still Legions, maybe Shuffle. Shuffle will always annoy me because I just don't like the mechanic, but that's not necessarily meaning the deck is annoying to everyone else. There are plenty of people who seem to enjoy it. I just personally am not a big fan of the mechanic. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who are of the opinion that naval warfare was a thing. What are you? Oh, okay. That's kind of cute. We'll use you as an engine, I think. This is interesting. We're hunting. Middlesex. And we're just... I have a feeling I know where we're going with this. Which is kind of cool. Quite like it. Huh. Do. Do you know, I don't know the answer to that question. I'd have to test that. I had assumed that the opponent would be able to see it, but I don't actually know. New Monastery effects are really quite undramatic. Just one word and everything disappears. I quite like it. But yeah, I think the likelihood is that your opponent can see them more. So it'd be weird, though, because your opponent normally can't see your interactions. They're asymmetrical. If someone's got it, the easiest way to know is if you can press it yourself. They probably can't see it. Okay. With Lancaster. Never say never. Responsiveness would be welcomed. Hey, cool. I mean, this is as close as I've gotten. I've not seen... Hey, Neil! I've not seen many people doing anything with it. I don't think the keyword soup deck, again, thank you, Core, is actually particularly good. Be nice if we could find any of our actual tools ever. But that's okay. We shall endure. You don't know whether Ahmed's reposting from 2 different accounts, but as far as I am aware, no. It wouldn't make sense. It would be unusual. I don't think so. Right. Yes. That was a lot of bond card. Now, what was it we said about not having a way to deal with the bomber? I've had success on precisely 2 decks using resistance, both of which don't rely on it as a win condition. It's nice. It's fine if you want to disrupt your opponent, kinda. But I certainly don't rate it. No. But yeah, the reason that I don't think you'll find your opponent can is that you can play with your opponent's stuff. So it's not... They're 2 separate instances of the board. Oops. Oh dear. Someone found their resistance cards. See, this is the problem with having a lot of draw. Honey! No, I don't think so. Resistance is definitely not bugged. It's very random. I can assure you it is extremely random. There you go. Have some tanks. One instance is not, trust me, it's random. I've played enough of it. One instance is never evidence. Statistical clumping is a thing. Mowdy! It's ism! Congratulations on your seeding, by the way. I'm glad you've finally seen it, because obviously that was all pre-recorded, but I wasn't allowed to talk about it. I look forward to seeing you at the World Champs. Big tank! Yep, statistical clumping is a thing. But that is pure random, and that is randomness. As anyone who deals with mathematics on a regular basis will tell you, it is the downside of randomness. Mustang! It's also occasionally used in mathematics to refer to just grouping. It does. So I need another guard. Starts running maths in head. Wouldn't be once in a lifetime. I think we go here. Yeah, again, Zia's also short-stacked here. He's got lucky all the way through the game with multiple draw cards, at which point it becomes even more likely that you see a clump. In fact, right now, maths is his worst enemy. Nero, thank you so much. Yeah, IS2 doing work right now, not gonna lie. Well, let's have a look. 7. No, we lose. There are not enough triggers. Ah, yes, it is it will make you jump. It is a very noticeable one. Yeah, I was just having funsies. It's a friendly. It would not have been a recommended play. I should probably have picked one of the other units. Honestly, Honey would have been the better way of doing that one. Right, let us try this. A gentle reminder to keep it civil and chat in private if it becomes not. Which nation got the most out of this expansion? Britain. Doesn't mean it's the best, but Britain got the strongest, I think, set out of the expansion. Brits were so Britain and US were both the statistically terrible decks, like nation-wise. So they both did quite well. UK, France, France when it comes to resistance. I think UK is better than Germany because I don't think Germany needs the help. Oh yeah, good point. We'll answer your question. So that answers your question. As expected, no, it's one-sided. But I think, yeah, Britain did the best. Would be extremely difficult to make it work without a very expensive engine that would then need real server maintaining. Be a pain in the backside to do. Also, it would kind of remove the possibility to allow you to... It would sort of make a mockery of being able to turn off in-game emotes. Unless somehow it filtered in, which nothing ever has. Because honestly, if there was a way that your opponent could both see and hear it, everyone would already be complaining. Sure. We'll take 2. I don't need to imagine it. I'm unfortunately, very recently, I've become very aware of the depravity of humanity that exists in cards, and I'm glad not to have to interact with it. And the first time in history I've actually had to contact people about harassment. And that was lovely. That's just what you need in your life. Just have a cup of tea, I think. And drop the Panzer. Hey, Leo, how you doing? What? Panzer trade's okay. I just think would be a terrible idea to have a direct interaction that can't be turned off between players in this game, given the player base. Not you guys, just collectively. It's just asking for trouble. Nice. Right. So you can run the 3. Yeah, I've had some fun. I've had some moments that weren't. But on the whole, it's been positive for me. Underrated Overpower? I don't know. I've had some fun with Overpower. It's not utterly terrible, but it's also not particularly amazing. Okay. Fair enough. Now, that's not a card I expected to see. Not a lot we can do right now. It was necessary and was done. Whether it is enough, I won't comment on beyond I'm on record not liking the effect on the card. But it was a necessary nerf. Well, that went well. But it was a necessary nerf. It happens. It happens most of the time. There are less than 15, 20-ish testers who are doing the best we can, and then sometimes a card will come out, even depending on what the discussions are, which I can't talk about, and the net result will sometimes be undesirable. We can try the opposite version of this, see if my version interests Zia. But I think it's a good emergency change. I am not convinced that it is the correct long-term change, but I am one voice, and my voice is very openly that I don't like the effect. I don't think the effect belongs on a card in the game that is a standard card. Kokura's sword is one thing as an elite and could be deeply annoying. But the sheer value of having 4 of them is, to me, problematic. I think unless you increased its cost or changed its stats to make it unplayable, at some point it will become a problem again. But I've been wrong before. I am not in for right, nor would I ever claim to be. But I am of the opinion that this is on my deadly sins of design list for a reason. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Skytrain. Sure. Alright, see what value you get. It would be more, I still wouldn't like it. I just don't think infinite recursion belongs on a standard card. How do we want to do this? I mean, what? We're going to take 3? I think we just take the 3. Unless we draw something particularly special, which we don't. Stocks went down on route at the moment. Whether that stays the same, I don't know. I think when Germany's done flirting with using France as an ally and trying to squash resistance into the existing German burn deck, I'm not convinced they won't end up coming back again. Okay. So, no, there's no reason. Do we just... Choco Boys is so attractive right now. So you're going to have the potential for Blitzkrieg, but we know this. But the thing is, despite your general fortune in not finding the cards, I think it would become basically unplayable, which is not the aim. It would just, because the problem is it just infi-deads your draw. Like, it, back on top of the deck would balance it in the sense that no one would ever play it again. But I don't think that's in any way, shape, or form what's being gone for. This is mean. But yeah, yeah, the problem is because of the way the hot patch went out, if you don't update your account, it won't update the client. It's not like a hard fix. It doesn't. There's no server shutdown, so you have to run the update. However, if you are playing on an older version of the client, you will only be playing against people who are on the same version of the client. So anyone who on a phone is able to use the one cost version of the card would be playing on the version of the game with the one cost version still in it, which means they would only be matched against people playing that version. I hope that makes something approaching sense. Hey, Sino. Please use JPN or Japan. Don't use that abbreviation. Thank you. I don't know about tournament matchups because tournament will obviously be on a different set for matchup, so it is very possible that there's a cross-play issue there, which should sort itself when people actually update their clients. Right. You need to go. That's alright, don't worry, just don't use it, it's all good. Mistakes happen, not a problem. 4, 5. Need you to actually draw them. So I don't know how it works on the PC client, because I don't play on PC. GG's, dear. But mobile clients have, because of the way mobile release works, 1939 don't have. Take care, my friend, and I look forward to seeing how you get on later in December. I may be there, I may not, but I'll definitely be there watching, and I wish you the best fortune. But when it comes to mobile clients, it has to go out through the Android and or Apple processes, both of which have their own internal evaluation, then release them, but it's their push notifications. Whereas Steam basically allows you to push an update onto your own game. Properties like mobile clients like Android and iOS don't, as I understand it. Unfortunately, Django, no, those sort of changes would be big programming that would eat up basically a lot of time. You can make the UI bigger, so there is somewhere in here should be UI, so you can increase the UI scale or change it, but you can't alter the effect. But yeah, that's the best answer I can give you with mobile clients. I'm not an expert on them. I just understand the very basics of how the client release goes. But there are a huge number of technical factors that are not. The world doesn't let you directly control everything. And in the case of an emergency patch, a server shutdown isn't authorized unless it has to be, because then everyone would be even more angry. Because have you seen Discord any time the server goes down? see who's about on ladder. But a very good friend of mine in social community development and marketing reminded me that the larger a group of people, the more miserable, aggressive, and unpleasant they'll become. It's not personal, it's just the internet. It makes me sad that that is the case, and I try and encourage people to do better, but it is also sadly accurate. People will say and do things on the internet they would never say and do in real life, which is unfortunate. Apart from the people who actually would say and do it in real life, but best not to talk about them. But I am tilted. If anybody is unaware, I had some personal attacks launched at me recently, so talking to me about the internet community is probably not the most positive result at the moment for anyone, because I don't have the highest opinion right now. Yes, I am. I was looked after by Neil, who is around somewhere in chat. I was earlier, and a bunch of other very good friends. And it was indeed I by Tuna, who is also in chat somewhere, who made me aware of the issue, which was then reported and dealt with. Food in face is a good choice. Do we just obliterate you? Probably. No. Do shush. There's chap. But yes, thank you, Leo. I am fine. It was a person who was under the impression, the short version, it was a person who was under the impression I was responsible for getting them banned for Discord from, I assume, the main Discord server. Something, by the way, I can't do. Who then decided to use Reddit as a method of calling me out on my disability and the fact that I am state-supported with benefits. Meaning that no one should ever give me any money, because clearly you can fill out the rest, I would imagine. Basically, very pleasant human being. This deck list. Yep. I'd like to say it's the first time I've had to deal with it in my life, but I'd be lying. I will always continue to do the best I can. But I will say what you like about them, 1939 were incredibly supportive and effective in dealing with the issue. Also, shout out the Discord mods for being incredibly helpful too. How big are we? Well, what, 8? So 5, 6, 7, and good night. I'll make sure to report it. It may be that there is an issue with the updates, in which case, please make sure to put it in reports and bug reports in the Discord as efficiently and quickly as you can, because that's not a good sign. bigger question is, are you currently in a tournament or on ladder? Make sure you report it, please. That's very weird. More than a little concerning, as I understand it. Though don't quote me, because I am not the expert. That shouldn't be able to happen, because it should be checking what version of the game you're on for matchmaking. Yeah. Do 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 do. Downsides of doing this mono is we have to run things like carpet bombing. Check out Core's version of Brit mid-range for this, but better. Because he doesn't force polar bears into it, and has actually accounted for the fact that... let's go with the golden one. You can run things like Crossfire and stuff like that if you run German Ally. Which is probably mechanically just better. Which I'm honestly a little bit sad about. I would have liked Mono to have been strong, but there's a balance as to how strong you want it to be. Right, so I'll blow you up, trade you out. And drop a garrison. Sometimes. No, you're not imagining it. You can report it if you feel the need, but it is also a very known issue. It's been around for a while. Annoyingly, the people responsible for it are remarkably good. How do I want to do this? I think we go this way. We don't need to rush. Oh, good, we can pin. But annoyingly, the people who are responsible for the bugs are remarkably good at finding a way to do it again. But yes, there have been exploits where you can be forced out of the server, and then you get the server disconnect and lose a turn. I have had it happen to me. Not that recently, though, which is probably a good sign. I mean, you're covered. So we just guard up, I think. Throw this up. Drop an extra garrison. See where we go. Oh, that's handy. You're not fast enough. Otherwise, I totally would. I never play you. I should probably remove you from the deck, but I don't want to. You're so slow, which is ironic. You're a polar bear. You're not slow. Yeah, exploits are a sad thing. Well, I don't think I particularly want you to have a board. That seems unfair. I think you having units on board is distinctly unfair. It's the Plinkfantry! So that's polar bears down. Some pompadours down. Cover up against the order. That's a very odd place to put your guard. 4, 9. Yeah, we're fine. If you feel like there's been a cheat involved, you absolutely should report it. I will also say, while Ahmed is opinionated, I do not concede that he is accurate. Do not assume that no one cares. They definitely do. I know many of these people, and I know that they care a great deal. It will get resolved when they're able to resolve it. Because he was more interested in keeping the other units alive. I'm not quite sure why. I'm assuming he's got a plan to access specific cards? At a guess, but we'll see. Because at the moment, he's just running on plink damage. Right. Yes. Yes, it is. It's the ultimate draw engine. So the initial cards players will tell you. What? For that? We'll answer your question in a moment, Ahmed. Yes, Leo, this is, generally speaking, you will find that round about this time on Saturdays and Tuesdays, if life allows, is when I will tend to stream. It's usually about 5 o'clock-ish, my time. So So, in the mobile account, can you log out of your account and log into a different account? Yes. It's how I do all of my alt account new player runs. Right. Resh, who is not present but will get their code shortly. Right. Alright, send code. So the one thing that might get you is that I will always stream at sort of 1700-ish UK time, but we change time twice a year. Our clocks go forward and back twice a year. So favorite cards in the expansion. So I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Aelin kind of nailed me. My general views when I was given my Homefront reveals. There can be only one winner, even though it is not a good card. It's not a good card, but they're polar bears. They're also a very cool regiment if you look into the history. One, I'm a bear. And two, the regiment's history is just really cool. So they started service in the Norwegian campaigns, then got heavily reorganized, played around with, but they eventually became very effective. Ask Bear Grylls. That's, in my case, as a name I picked up a long time ago. Everybody calls me Bear, but in Britain it is also a name. But I picked up the nickname because personal name, best way to put it. I picked it up because I share a lot of traits with bears. I picked it up because I am an extremely bear-like human. Yeah, the design, like, the card is fine, but not good in the current meta / game. It's just too slow. Like, as a design idea, it's really cool. But I was quite happy to get them to reveal. But yeah, no, because I am basically full of bear traits, according to the various people who have handed me names, who have not known me in different times in my life. Land girls and home guys. It's fair. I mean, I think I would deploy. I wish it was British units. Would almost be a step up. Well, I do Majestic, and I have occasionally been fishing. Oh, cute. The Home Guard artwork is one that I actually, when I first got given that card for reveal, I did drop a message making sure the artwork was okay. It is, but I did drop a message to check because it did make me raise an eyebrow. I was slightly worried it would get changed. It didn't. It had already been checked, but that is... And you've definitely updated your client, so it's 2K for you. He means the 106th. The most... So... Oh, define broken. The most overstated, overpowered card of the thing is the Mustang. Mechanically, just mathematically, the Mustang is, but the Kirkinez comes very, very close just in the way it's done. And I think the yeah, they shouldn't. There should be a matchmaking protection outrider. That's the thing that's confusing me. You shouldn't be able to, like, for example, because Apple and Android will release a new expansion at different times. There's a break period in which, until the versions of the game sync, you can't crossplay. But it would appear that isn't the case on the hotfix, which is annoying. Alright, we're just going to eat the 1 point of damage. Yeah, it got hit very, very hard. I am not. I would not be at all surprised to see it changed again. We have asked that question, actually, ironically, but no one can remember, so we'd have to go back and look at dates, which is more hard work than any of us really want to do. I think it's very close. I think this might have been patched faster than the Commandos. If you're losing because of it, I would strongly advise stopping playing. It's not worth the frustration. Like, Mustang is OP, but it's an elite, so it can be. You're only running one of them. Like, honestly, the 106th issue has very little to do with... For me, the biggest issue with 106 is the fact that it's a standard rarity card. Having, like, Kakura's sword was infinite printing, effectively, but that's not a problem because it was an elite, to put it mildly. Yeah, so we'll remove this. So one thing I will say, though, is that it can punish you for that, because you don't always get the bonus draw. You could get it in your mulligan, you could pick it up turn 2, you could pick it up turn 3, you can annoyingly draw it on turn 4 naturally before it draws itself. So it balances, plus, sue me, it's not that good. If you've got to wait until turn 4 to activate the full 4 cost credits to activate your deck in this meta, you're just going to get absolutely destroyed. And because there's a whole bunch of things that can go very, very wrong with it. Like, Front and Homeland is fine. It's a really interesting design space. But Sumi, Core, back me up here, brother. It's not that good. It's a bit of fun to cook with in very specific decks. Whereas Mustang, frankly, at this point is just auto slap into any British deck, which is a bit problematic. Yeah, you need to be building around it. And then there are cards that I object to. Jet and Ramp? I'm sorry, people. I can't be sarcastic. I can't get past. Yeah, it's great in Heinz, which is where it wants to live. Basically anywhere else, it's just... Unless you've built your deck around it. Oh yeah, like I'm not, again, like in Heinz, it's a good card. It's just I am seeing so many people cooking with it in like a million different decks. Yes, you can pull off a couple of weird things, but Resistance's thing, when everybody is done messing with it, will ultimately come down to the same thing, in my opinion, unless someone finds a particularly efficient way of dealing with it. It's going to come down to the same problem, which is it's random. And competitive play, especially high-level competitive play, is about minimizing randomness in your deck. Like, for example, Germany Burn using Resistance just is so pointless for... Thank you, Core, for illustrating my point. Like, you're walking an incredibly long distance for no good reason. It's an incredibly long walk. Heinz means fast tanks, basically tanks that operate very low operation cost, cheap tanks. Resistance is fine. I'm not saying Resistance is bad, but I don't think you're going to get... I don't think Resistance would hold up a 70-ish% win rate top level, because it's not competitive. And that's where it should be. The moment that Resistance starts actually becoming hyper-competitively effective, it will, just like the old one, get nerfed to hell, because it runs the risk of just becoming an unfun deck. The randomness, in my opinion, is one of the best parts of the design. Making it random. One, as far as I'm concerned, thematic win. Little tiny bombs in your deck. Very Resistance. But unless you're using it super efficiently, Resistance is basically a long walk to get to a destination you could have reached hours ago. But then, hey, what do I know? I think we just heal. That was a good heal call. Do you just heal and draw? Probably. And then we'll do 2 to face. But Resistance is such a... Like, I've had fun with it. I think it's... You can play some decks that will probably get you a decent win rate. But do I think anyone is going to be running Resistance to ladder? No. Do I think Resistance will appear at tournaments? I don't know. That I do not know, because it's going to depend on how comfortable pilots feel with how good the deck is. Right. Are we done? Are we quite done? Also, we just don't know very much about it yet. I think we're doing so. We'll go for the cheap swing. Continue. Excellent. That means we've deployed an infantry, which will be important next turn. I think so. One of the things that you will learn is that if you want to be competitive, sometimes you have to play boring decks. Nature of the beast, unfortunately. So push lay force. Drop Baltimore? Or do we just Mustang? No, we Baltimore. I think. Or do we just... No, hang on. We could also... 1, 2, 5... No, we want to be able to... Yeah, Baltimore's mathematically more effective. Yeah, it'd be nice occasionally if you could make the tournaments, but I certainly haven't been able to. A lot of things are timing wise, but I don't know whether I would. The easy play stuff is more attractive to me. And Bismarck. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. So is it Legions then? Is the best deck to compete against others just to make sure you win, right? It's one of the best decks in the meta at the moment. Is it the best deck in the meta at the moment? That's a much bigger question. But it's good. I'm not loving the fighter. I don't know, Leo. I've not been asked. I am not aware of the casting team having been finalised for... let's see if we can demonstrate resistance in general. We'll run some testing. I'm a passable pilot. Legions is definitely tier 1. Legions is tier 1. I would argue Shuffle is still tier 1. Germany Control / Burn also still tier 1. Those are probably still the big tier 1 decks, but we need another at least week before we can tell whether anything from the new stuff is going to be we need a week or two, as Cora's saying, before we're going to know anything about the new meta. But in the current meta, the new Jets deck, I think definitely the new Evens deck. I don't like calling it Jet anymore because the tank means it's not just Jet anymore, but I do think it has potential. there's some good value to be had in there, and Ketten card is really, really good for if you can bounce the shuffle back in to buff your... That was rude. If you can bounce Ketten card to buff your jets and tanks, it's quite good. Guys, please don't ask people to judge a meta after less than 48 hours. It's impossible. Like, literally impossible. I would strongly advise not asking about meta, at least the new meta, until at least next weekend. I've been doing this a long time. Neil, don't tilt me. You know how I feel about vibes-based judgment. I'm an empiricist. But yeah, don't. No one is going to call the meta this early because we just don't know. And there's still the possibility that cards might get changed. What does this one do? Is this the irritating draw thing? It is the irritating draw thing, right? Yes. So that can die. You and me both. I'm really interested to see, especially given some of the cooks that we've got in the World Champs. I'm very interested to see what they come up with. I can't wait to see Radish's decks. I'm very interested. Kill Switch, yeah. Henry, both really, really likely to have some ideas. We'll just draw, I think. Yeah, qualification was the issue. Oh, if I thought this deck was ruined by one guard, I wouldn't be playing it. It slows it down, but if resistance is your win con, you're playing the deck wrong. In my humble opinion. Right. Excellent. It makes an already slow deck slower, which isn't really that much of a punish. Barracuda? Bye. Like, Blackwatch is not strong enough to actually shut it down. Have I tried out Navy Burn with the rumbers? I've not. Hey to it, Sereno. Resistance should always pin unpinned units first. No, I don't think it needs a buff, Karma. I mean, if that's the intention, that's a different question. Also, notably, are we aware of the fact that there's a sync issue with the patch update, Karma, whereby people are actually able to be playing on a version of the client where 106 costs 2 credits against people for whom it still costs 1? Just asking out of curiosity. Yeah, I probably should have hit the Bryansk for free. I'm just not paying very much attention. I always keep forgetting that. Let's play Liberation here? Probably. And then we might as well pin this guy. Who is going to be very, very sad about this. Armored train. Interesting. So let's get DIA down. Line block. Running the risk of getting very unlucky at this point with draws. Which would be unfortunate for him. So, can we push up? Do we want to push up? Not really. And 2 into there. I think we go fish. I'd like to see a number of things, but I'll take this. Because it's only got 2. We want to play this hyper slow. That's kind of fine with me. What is good post 106? Well, we're currently looking into the 106 nerf. I don't know. I mean, I've been doing all right on Brit Mono, but I'm still in play mode, Starry. I'm just messing around. I still have not actually done any really serious building. Although I will say, I do think the new evens cost is definitely funsies. Right, let's have rid of that. But New Evens has definitely got some funsies going for it. Ooh. Yoink. Oh, it's massively overrated. It's just fun. Well, that's just rude. I'm going to have to make an effort now. I didn't sign up to make an effort. I'm playing Resistance, for goodness sake. Good lord. Plink you off just because we can. Might as well destroy you. Just for funsies, really. It does, because they are the Division Infanterie Alpine. They are an actual mountain unit. They have it for historical reasons. Genuinely, they have it for historical reasons. Bye now. They have it for historical reasons. Sorry, I should have been paying more attention. Alpine confirmed new meta. I can confirm it. I am not aware of the need, but they are in fact, yeah. It's gonna happen. But they were a mountain regiment who were also used for. They also had some paratroopers added to them later. There's a whole thing, but they're an interesting regiment. But yeah, they were a mountain regiment, hence Alpine. I know this because I saw the Alpine keyword and asked in testing whether we were about to start doing French Alpine. I'm not an expert on the regiment, but I had a quick look when it popped up. Oh, hello. So the only card change that you will see directly is this. The countermeasure order, not countermeasure, the order change should go live at some point, although I believe later Karma will confirm, but I think it's later on this evening that fix will actually take effect, last I heard. And everything else is all in the patch notes, which you can find on the Discord. Well, everything relevant. And then there'll be lots and lots of tiny little things like sound effect, visual effect changes, decoy tactics, yeah. Those will all be... Monasteer should work correctly, yes. Monasteer should not be continuing to destroy covert units. It should be back to working the way it's intended to. That. It should not be doing that. But yeah, there have been some sound and visual changes, because Karma et al. Are always working hard to... When you're not concentrating, still, it's fine. But there's always a massive log of like little tiny things like making visual props look a bit better, getting higher definition graphics, that sort of thing. But they're not generally like super called out in patch notes. Hang on, asking about legions, by the way. We'll be able to learn a bit in a minute. Where's overpower when you need it? Not helping. Arming's good, though. We can use that next turn. That's right. We are definitely losing. That is absolutely true. We have a bricked hand, and not much in the way of ways out. It's super specific. It's not terrible, but it's hyper specific, which is always going to work against it. Just to the sheer amount of draw and burn, plus the fact that you can use air, land, and sea to print extra copies. Because air, land, and sea is one of those like amazing super toolboxes. No. Take arming, I think. So, in my opinion, so the fix is programmed, it is not live. To my knowledge. It will be later on today. In my opinion, it's Japan and Britain are the two better choices for ally, but I was just playing around to see what I could do with Japan resistance. Hey, Sonny. Like, I don't particularly play meta decks. It's not really my speed. I haven't got the energy to just focus in on hyper meta decks. But the red resistance, the Soviet resistance deck I've got's been good because it has a win condition that isn't resistance, it's just big bodies, and Brit resistance in its various forms is pretty solid if you want to play resistance. But in all cases, I still think the randomness of resistance means that if you're wanting to be competitive, there are better things you could be doing with your time. I mean, wish to be clown? Sure. I'm not big on anything that is so unspeakably unreliable as being a good win condition. You can play it. Like, there are better decks to do it, but I think Japan makes an interesting resistance deck because of its different interactions. Same is true with why I brewed my very random Soviet resistance deck, which is just about big bodies and then like breaking your opponent's tempo, which I'll probably take for a run out after this and talk through a bit, which I think is actually the more fun version of it. Now, are you going to continue playing with your food? Because it would amuse me if you do and we manage to pull a win. Because that would be very stupid. Oh, Sonny! I love it. Watch streaks away. Okay, Sabe. So now you've got 6 million ways to win. Right. So I'm going to take a brief break because I need to use the bathroom. We're going to start a competition and I will draw it when I come back. Thank you, Neil. Yes, please don't do that. I will be back momentarily and I will draw the giveaway when I get back and then I'll catch up on chat. Right, we're back. So, let's see. What was chat saying before I had to disappear? Can you somehow make US decks work? We'll have a look at that in a minute. More tactical, yeah. I don't think that was well chosen phraseology, considering how random it is. And genuinely, I'm not convinced. Back in the 10,000s, although I got it from 60-odd thousand, so call it a win. Right, let's see. Charleston, congratulations. You have won yourself a pack, which I shall send to you. Hey, you should be in your DMs. I hope it's got something good in it. Right, so US decks. When you say, can you make a US deck work? Like, the best US deck that I've played recently is Frontline, which works fine. I've seen a couple of people playing some weird variants of Throp, which is very odd. Considering it lost quite a chunk. But 3 op cost. So it's the US, usually France deck that revolves around 3 op cost units and gaining bonuses from doing so. There are a couple of people trying it. I will say it can still kick out a reasonable amount of heal, which is a thing. Overpower into Brewsters is just useful because it's a nice check, but if you're running it just for Brewsters, it's a whole thing. But Brewsters is a thing. But yeah, this is my most fun Resistance cook. Please note, this is not about being good. This deck is not good, it's just fun. It's decent, but it's basically just a strong Soviet body deck. Like, plenty of mid-range to it, I suppose, in some ways, with a lot of heavy late weight. Taking advantage of ambush and multiple keywords on things like, well, J. King's favourite card. Although, to be fair, I agree with him. But also 77th. And then trying to get the extra keywords on Colm. And then obviously we've got Victory Banners and Monastir for big clear. And the IS-2, because I just wanted to see if it's any good, but it reminds me this needs to be taken out and replaced with the other elite tank. Because it's terrible. Thank you. I've not found that I need the 3rd AoE so far because we've got so many bodies on the board. Like, so the difference between... So I think J. King's commentary is less about how good Kirkenes is versus the design of the card. Which I know he is not a fan of the power level that was added to the card. For what it is, the stats are fairly crazy. Whether it's good is, like... I've not been able to get the big... No, because it's just ludicrously overrate. By rate, we mean kind of what you would expect on a card of its rarity in its nation. His argument is that it is immensely power-crapped. I think it's a very strong card, in the sense that it's got lots and lots of powerful things on it. I'm not convinced that it's actually that good, because it doesn't really have a home. Or rather, more specifically, the home that it does have is, so far as I can tell... I don't know, Core, have you done any cooking? / anyone else, actually, who's out there, done any cooking with the with the whole multiple keyword, thing? Has anyone been soup brewing? Or do I need to do, like, live stream soup brewing? Although nobody really wants to see me make a deck. It's a terrible process and takes forever. I am not a good deck builder. No. Soviet Italy control, I imagine, will still be pretty good. I personally want to build Brit Italy control at some point. I have a feeling low-key that could be quite good. Because Britain fed well this expansion. Which I do not object to. On the subject, though, of cards that are just good value for their cost. 2/5 guard with an upside. And build a deck. Oh dear. We'll have a look. We'll see if we can cook something with the keyword soup in a bit. Right. Let's get rid of you. Bye-bye now. But yeah, we'll have a look. I've got Core around. He can help. Like, can we make keyword soup? So here's the question while we're playing through this match. What is the ally for keyword soup? I think it's Finland in my head. Because it's not giving this card's cost. It's giving defense equal to the cost of the card it draws. So if you draw a 10 cost card off the effect of this, you'll gain 10 HQ defense. Is the short answer. I think US had this thing where it felt like they wanted US to be the somehow the ally. I just don't know that it is. But we'll cook. I've not cooked on stream for a while. Oh, good, it's my favourite card. What is it a very old, very good friend of mine said? It's a deck. They're all just decks. Be nice if my reflexes didn't put the guard on the wrong side, but I'm sure we'll live. Because it's going to get hit in the face by Sabe Regiment in a minute anyway. Oh no, it's going to get converted. Fair enough. I love how you're persistently just leaving that thing there as though I'm actually going to bother to destroy it. Bonk. What? Target enemy unit that's damaged. Have to destroy you now. I don't want to, but fine. Right. If you'd proceed to draw all of your resistance cards, that'd be good. Ah! In the nation it's in, it's very good, but is it nerf-worthy? I don't know. I don't know that Colm needs a nerf. I don't think it's been, like, dominant enough. The only thing it's done is enabled a couple of Soviet aggro decks that haven't been possible before. Which, in my opinion, is not that big of a deal. But I don't know whether it's... I don't know that I think it rates the nerf. I think it's kind of... I think very much like the French Dragons. It's kind of... And we go rolling. What do we hit? About the worst target we could have hit, but it's fine. There are a lot of resistance cards in your deck. Oh, good! Thunder Division. These are about to get big. However, there is a downside to drawing all of these cards, you know. Right, let's see what we can fish for. That'll do. And again. Shuffle in the hands of a skilled pilot, I would argue, is actually quite possibly better than Legions. It's got a couple of just incredibly good win conditions. Come on, start drawing them. There's a lot of very big bodies. Like Lublin's starting to get very annoying. Oh, definitely. We are definitely outbodied. But it's Legion's a terrible matchup for any slower deck. Unless you have a way of huge mass removal. What we need, Ed, because now we're dead, was Monasteer. Now, if you want to play with your food, like some Legion players like to, it would amuse me. Well, you know, this is a bit stepping forward bravely. In my testing, no. Again, if you're a great believer in making deck changes after 1 or 2 matches, I wish you good fortune with finding consistency. Take down for 1. Please be Monasteer. Please be Monasteer. Damn it! Sad face. In an alternate universe, that was Monasteer. And would have made for an incredibly miserable opponent. That's normal. Right, let's take a look at this keyword soup nonsense. So, new deck. Soviet Finland. Let's start with Homeland. Or Homefront, I should say. I don't know why I keep calling it Homeland. Right. You're in. You're in. You're probably in for now, but I suspect you're going to get cut. You're in and probably not getting cut. Oh, Decoy Tactics is back! We can test it. Karma, are you still in chat? Just in case this goes wrong, because I want to know, because then I'm not testing it, because I don't want to die horribly. If Karma's still in chat and this goes wrong, it will not be fun. So, obviously, we want the infantry regiment. Obviously, we want you. Obviously, we want Coastal Battalion, how are we doing? We've still got slots. I know what they're going to be. We might as well run the boy. And I think we can run a couple of these. Then we need to go to Finland. And because just making sure there's nothing I would rather run. Blitz shocks, but it's all sissy synergy. Yeah, there's a few things we can definitely chuck in. Stage 1 with Soviets, however, is always start with elites. There we go. Thank you for confirming that that's still as intended, because, yeah. Well, Decoy Tactics is live, so we're going to test it. Although, I'm sort of tempted to take it out in case it goes wrong and you want to hurt me. We are testing keyword soup. I guess we want the armored train, naval brigade. Not some people, Corps. It's just become the thing. Right, how are we doing for deck slots? Like 1 deck slots. So it came from Corps time, because Keyword Soup was a deck name in the Elder Scroll Legends, as I understand it. You know what this deck's really gonna need? Draw. It's gonna be the thing. I mean, we've got the 3K guy. Do we run a 5-year plan? Ninth Guard's tempting. Oh, karma. There you go. I think it's probably Ninth Guards just for value, and then we're cutting when we find out that we have... There is a rule. If this deck turns out to be good or you want to go test it, you must call your version of this deck Core Soup. It is the law. He must suffer for his art. That looks like an appropriately soupy looking thing. Use Kursk, I think. Right, let's find out how terrible this is. so Solisi is not going to be useful. We have basically no early game. Sleep well, Leo, and thank you for coming along. It's always a pleasure to see you and interact. It means a lot. Take care of yourself. Now watchers just get roped for the first 4 games. Just gonna say yes, Twitzerino, as far as I'm aware, is indeed finished. Just convince the people at your office to, you know, pay my relocation expenses. I'll come be finished. Okie dokie. It is time, assuming that this lives. I like a bit of score overlay when I need to. Right, let's see if this works. This thing now has basically all the things. Ambush, shock, enemy discard stuff. Now, be helpful. Karma's here. Attack. What? What? But... What? What? Oh. Why? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm so confused. Can't wait for turn 8, though. Oh, what else did you... Oh, you got heavy armor. Nice. Right. That's impressive. That's a lot of stats. Karma, we might be about to test it. Just stop thinking about hitting me and hit me. Oops. Well, it works. Whether anyone is going to thank you for it is a different question, but it works. Oh, that had to hurt. That cannot have been fun. I am slightly sorry. I mean, granted, only slightly, but I am. Ladies and gentlemen, it's turn 8. Next turn. Should be fun. So, armored train, anyone? I feel like I'm like hard code test. Not quite yet. Next turn, Karma. It's not 7 cost. That would be broken. Either way, this is still not going to be a pleasant turn. Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry. Don't invest anything else. Oh god, this is going to feel miserable. I'm so sorry. By the way, I love Monasteers. The unexpressed, the subtlety and simple effect of Monasteer. I love how understated it is. It is much appreciated. It's not big. It's not flashy. It's just bang and everything dies. It's very Thanos. Should probably have done that first, honestly. But, you know, I think we'll live. It could have been so much more flashy. You could have gone the US nukes route. But no. Just nice and clean and simple. So annoying. Not going to make a massive difference, but it's still so annoying. Right. Should probably start taking things marginally seriously. Right. Yes, that I would be pro newspaper opening. We are just hitting you in the face, I think. Not a lot else we can do. So we're going to want Arctic Convoy, please. Because damage to enemy air units is not going to help massively. Technically speaking, this is still winnable for our opponent, which would be nice as a way back after the unfortunate result of the Monastery. Yep, just an opening newspaper on the screen. Ogogogon, hello. Yeah, there probably should be one in there. I'm just overloading at the moment. Uh-huh. Have you got a second one? If you've got a second one, you're sort of taking the mick. No. Okay. Huh. Thank you so much for the raid, Ogogogon. Right. Yeah. There are ways this could still go very sideways. One good duress and we die. Indeed. Could do with one of my other board clears. It's not one of my other board clears, but it is the guard. Man, that feels better. One way or the other. I'm curious. What you got? Oh, fair enough. Yeah, just a touch. I blame you. Exclusively. Right, job 1, stack guards. But we don't need to! Oh, that was scrappy. Yeah, so did I. The tough break partner had me wondering. Okay, so... My only thing about this is we just have no early game. No, that's the wrong deck there. Mark this with a star. Alright, we need to cut some stuff, chat. I'm not loving how little early game we have. I mean, you're kind of okay. Let's be honest, your problem is you have blitz. Core, help me. Do we bother cutting for some early game? And if so, because we could cut and put some calm in, which feels like the thing to do because it's calm, right? But then yes, we have just tested it. Yeah, it feels like it, doesn't it? Motherland calls plus IS2. I mean, we could do it for the shiggles. This is kind of the cut, to be fair. I do think we need to make room for a White Death. I think that's a fair shout. But fin cuts, I think it's one of the Fokker, because obviously... hey, Total Pan. So, White Death, I think, given how many of them are out there, I wonder if I do run... Do I just... I think we run both of them, honestly. Where do we drop? Yeah, so I think we drop one of these. Or a decoy. Like, the decoy's really... I'm actually going to trim a couple of these. I wonder if we can... So I can put 25 back in. What else have we got that could be good? We just run the extra Fokker for... Sort of wish Fokker had some keywords, but, you know, at the same time... The thing about Finland is so good that you kind of want to run everything. Do we just want some of the blitz shot guys? We want to run more of the... Is decoy tactics actually worth the effort? That is my... I suppose it is if we can drop it on like a column. Is the thing. Because column is really our early game. Like, all the early game we've got. Let's run this out and see how it goes. Oh yeah, I need to update the score. We actually won one. Rima is fine, but I just don't know that it necessarily belongs here. Because you've got the... Yeah, Silesia is so much card draw that you kind of are going to have to be, thank you for the name by the way, really quite careful, because Silesia's could draw you so many cards depending on the board state. I don't think... I'm still testing, obviously. This is like the second game on this deck. But I think it's kind of more than enough. Obviously, we'll keep Gachina. I mean, it's not particularly... Yeah, I think that's probably right. I assume the average would be somewhere around 2 points some odd. As unless you're running it in a deck that isn't synergizing at all. Okay. And something resistance related. What? That probably won't be this deck. I will share the code for this deck after this game, but that'll be my Brit Mono deck. It'd be really cool if we could get like a Twitch streamer integration thing that would work with OBS. What would let it like pull the current deck code into... That's okay, Karma's probably staring daggers at me through the screen right now, because that's probably a ridiculous amount of coding. But it'd be cool. Did he take the bond hit just to put this down? No, I don't think we bother. Go on, we'll decoy tactics this. Yeah, there's a lot of integrations, but yeah, we don't there aren't that many of us, streamer wise. Which is fair. So if we drop you, what did we roll? Guard, which is not great. Yeah, the streaming community in China, particularly in Asia in general, is so much larger. What are you blowing up? Oh, okay. Am I going to end up white deathing or something just to deal with you? God, I really am, aren't I? This is going to be so annoying. Not loving this. Yeah, I mean it's not going to be a priority, is it? It would. Is this deck literally just pin? Am I about to actually use strat focus to kill one aircraft? Because Arctic. So Burning Sky is 2, right? Or is Burning Sky 1? It's 1. Thank the Lord! Tell how often I play Burning Sky. Right, do you want to stop just randomly pinning things now? Maybe. No, you probably don't. Okay, fine. The new developed cards are definitely good. Blitzbond Smoke. And we got Shock here. Well, no, but we could give something. This has Shock. God, you're an idiot, Bear. Seven 4 doesn't suck. I honestly, the new method with develop is the way I would have liked develop to have been done in the first place. Just saying. I think it's just strictly better. So we push up. We just blitz this because it's going to be massive. We can put this on the other side. Like, we're not lacking for board size. But yeah, the option toolbox is like, again though, why the countermeasure? And yes, I know I'm at least partially responsible for apparently not arguing loudly enough, but yeah. There's no reason for there to be a countermeasure in there. There just isn't. There is definitely soup happening. Soup is occurring. I don't know if it's good soup, but it's soup. What? God, you can so tell. You can so tell it is in fact the beginning of a new expansion. Fine. You're not wrong. It was probably a bit over the top. However, I reckon that a 10-10 Kirkenes will do the job. I have a feeling it'll be fine. I mean, duress is the thing, but that's a lot of guard. What? What? Hey. Sure. Why not? What? Just... What? Okay, can we end this farce? Please, make it stop. What? I so have to look at this deck in a minute. What? What? Right. Sure. You're still... Oh, no, wait. You're still dead. Right. What? Top 10,000, by the way. Right. What? I do not know who you are, so no. Right. There it is. Explains everything. Sorted. Like, literally, that answers all of my questions. Literally every one of my questions answered instantaneously. Right, deck list, because people were asking. I'll throw this in Discord as well. No, I'm not doing it. I mean, I'll paste it, but we are not turning that into the new meta. No. God. Right, so this is not the enemy list. This is Core Soup. Remember, the deck's name is Core Soup. I'm going to get Karma to data mine and check how many people actually have a deck in their list. Can you check that? Like, how many people have a deck named Core Soup? Actually, don't answer that. That's a lot of... I know. Before you even, I know how much work it is. I'm kidding. You were present. I'm holding you responsible. In fact, I'll take a copy of it to the next thing I'm casting at. And for those who wanted it, I don't know why. Lething. It's alright, I'm perpetually glad that I can't see my own lifetime stats. They'd be very depressing. I do far too much cooking for my own good. We got time for... Yeah, I got time for at least one more. Right. Hey, we went 2-0. Still not convinced this is good, by the way, but it's playable. Also, this might be my smoothest. I've got no dropped frames, clean bitrate. Looks like the electrical people did a good job earlier this week. Nice. I'm so grateful, by the way, to be done with electricians in the house. Although, shout out the electrician if for some reason, Dave, at any point you end up watching this. Highly unlikely. You're a star. Next up, decorating. Get some nice art behind me. Redecorate the rest of the house. Should be good. Replace my desk, assuming that I can earn a little bit more money. So my plan at the moment is to get a standing desk. So that I can do more of these vertical, because I sit too much. So I'm going to get one of the adjustable desks, which apparently will be good for my health. So I am told. And I tend to do what my specialists tell me. Well, that was just rude. I just push Silesia. Draws 2, but we don't really want to draw at the minute, I think. We're fine being a bit more passive on this deck. I will say this much, this deck is very grindy. Just put Coastal Battalion down? 4, not quite. Can we get... No, so 4, 5, 6... I think we can probably just do this. That makes Silesia a good hand refill. And makes Silesia 5/5. Or at least 5 attack, I should say. I think actually 3, 4. No, that's 7. So that would be better next turn. Do I just... Can we just push up? We sit? We can just sit. We just sit. Going to need a bigger tank. Cash 12-9, guard, ambush, shock. Rude. You can do a lot of trading with a 9-5 body. Right. That'll work. This has ambush and blitz. So we do this for certain. I think we're probably doing this. Push up just to make sense. No, I think we'll push. We'll cover. Make it harder to trade out the 9. I'd like to get 9 to face. That would be good. And just pushing up the guard to see if we can... Okay, so just going to go for a massive board clear. Seems legit. So, Coastal Battalion comes down. Hi. Alicia has blitz, right? Yeah, okay, so... Interesting choice. So Alicia comes up with blitz. Oh, the train feels valid. Yeah, I'm a little amused by that one. It does. I'm sort of... It's something we could have gone with that. I want to see whether that is the optimal way to do this, because right... Okay. Because right now we have other methods of dealing with our friend. I'll give you the 5. Illusion's pretty cool. That's kind of cute. It is. Come on. Want some White Death value. Oh. Oh. White Death's better, right? Oh. Oh, challenges. No, because I'd have to turn them all into something ridiculous. White Death is just better. Because then we can do this. Push this up. Interesting. So, God. Clear. Irritating plane. Damn it. Wait a minute. Please tell me you are not capable of doing maths. Oh no, you are capable of doing maths. You're just doing them very, very... What? No, you're not. But... Okay. We have legitimately no justification being alive. Still pretty much scuppered. So this could give us Burning Sky, but that's 7. 11, 12? No, because we don't get a guard. That's a problem. Yeah, basically. So we can do this. I assume, however, we're not going to be lucky enough that they're going to fail to do maths twice. Oh, wait! It can't survive! Ambush! Oh, God. Crossfire doesn't change. Double crossfire would change everything. So Germany, because of course. It's you, fine. Monastery, pretty please. No, but it is gods. Right. We don't... So we have to do this. Yeah, we had the 108th. It's, this can come down. The air unit, which is a bigger problem. It's the ground units. The ground units are the bigger problem, so... No, I can't afford it! No! Can we slow you down enough? No! Maths has failed me. Although maths has failed our opponent multiple times. It's alright. It's been a long day. What? How? I don't know. I have no idea how. I'm not even having a conversation about how. I do not know. How is this? It's not just me, right? I don't get it. I count four occasions on which we were dead. On board to maths. Yeah. What has happened? But you... There is a YouTube video I put up about this. About taking lethal. But in this instance, I have to assume there's some kind of intent here. Maybe I'll get a message at some point. Because, yeah, I just... No, I have no idea. I mean, I certainly hope not. Memes. I'm so confused. I'm like waiting for the gacha. For 22. Um, right. Is anyone else streaming? Because that is me. No. Core, I'm assuming it is too late. Yeah, not even close, clearly. Absolutely destructive affection. That was confusing. But as ever, thank you all very kindly for hanging out with me. I will be back in the near future. Meanwhile, be good humans, you know the drill. And I will probably see you all around the Discord and or my own Discord. Oh yeah, advertising. Hang on. Go like watch me natter about stuff with people like Core. Come chat with me on Discord. / if you can afford it, send me money because I could use the help redecorating my house. Right, thank you all very much. I will see you all hopefully Tuesday, but have fun.